just adjust the cam. So welcome to one more live stream. Thank you everyone that's watching already, and yeah, thank you everyone that's been following me the past days. So yeah, let's get into it. No more chit chatting. And yeah, so as for today, oh hey Twitch Black Code. Oh, I recognize you from. Is it you that has those series of posts about like some elixir tips? They're pretty neat. Is that you? That Black Code? Because those are very nice. And yeah, as for today, I'm going to be working on two. Oh yeah, cool. That's cool. Yeah, I love those series. I guess you started those series like a lot of time ago, right? 3 or 4 years ago, and I was beginning with Elixir. It helped me a lot, so thank you for that. Really, thank you. It helped me to even get more excited about Elixir, so more into Elixir itself. So today we're going to contribute to the package manager. Actually, it's a contribution that I already did recently. I guess it was last week or 2 weeks ago. And yeah, the thing is that it's finished, but there are problems on my implementation because there are tests that are failing here. And yeah, mostly the tests I already got the why. Even during the past live, I was like, it was pretty obvious that something bad could happen because I'm using this hex state fetch and update, and I'm not sure even if I should use them. Yeah, let's go. So first off, I'm inside already my branch there, sponsor tip, and let's see what I have to do mostly for that. So failure, repo test, support case. Let me see the first one that failed, because it might be that, yeah, see, key print sponsor tip not found in hex state. That's basically because when I introduced my code, which is here, I'm using hex state fetch, and the fetch function on this hex state module, it uses map-get, map-fetch. Let me open Vim, hex state, the fetch. See here, this is the function I'm using. It's an agent, and inside it calls the map fetch function. If there's an error, it raises key error. And yeah, that's the problem. And I searched for on the hex state module, and there's no get. So I'm going to implement one like get. And what I'm going to do is to actually use the straight up map get. Oops. Straight up map get, and I'm sending the state of the agent, and I'm getting the key. That's it. So, and then on my converger, the place that I actually added the fetch, instead of using the fetch, I'm gonna use the get that I just wrote. So I'm suspecting that's probably it for the tests, these first tests that were failing here. Checks. let me close the other one. These first tests here that were failing. Now let me check the other one here, the first one that actually uses released versions of Elixir and OTP. Yeah, a lot less failures. So I'm guessing this is gonna fix the, where is it now? Did I already commit? No, I didn't. Yeah, this one. This should fix this one. Yeah, let's commit. Actually, mix test on my local machine first, right? Also deprecations. Yeah, this would be the first one, and I really hope it's a quick one because I really want to work on the other thing I have planned, but I'm not going to have much time today for everything. So yeah, for those that don't know, this pull request here, it actually just adds this message here, like you have added upgraded package, so you could sponsor, run mixhex sponsor to learn more. Whenever you download a new package from Hex by using deps.get or mixhex install or something like that. So whenever you download a new package, either by an upgrade or an add, and that package has the sponsor link, it prints that message here. So you remember to check out and sponsor if you could. So let's see if our tests, there was one test that failed. You have added upgraded packages. All right, this is the test that I actually introduced. No, it's not. It's the sponsor test. All right, so unexpectedly received no dependency sponsorship links. So yeah, two failures were introduced. Both on hex sponsor test, the task hex sponsor test. Header output test sponsor response on link 28 here. So yeah, it runs the makes hex sponsor and expects it to print dependency and sponsorship on the first mix shell info that's going to get, and the second one, it expects it to have the package name and the URL. Oh, it's printing on mix hex sponsor? Why that? It shouldn't, because it should actually be flushed here, because mix hex sponsor, this task here should not download any package, but as you see, this function here that actually executes, it calls the last function, the last parameter, like the anonymous function that's given the last parameter. It calls after calling the flush method here. So should already be the flush method. It basically gets all the message that you have on your message box for the current process and just flushes it, just throw it away, like ignore. So the message, whatever message that got printed in here should have been flushed already when executing the function, which is this function. So after here, it should, oops, it was here, should not have any other message there. Strange. Anyway, that one is fixed at least, right? The first, the other 20 errors that we got. Unexpectedly received message. All right, and then the 41 here, unexpectedly received no dependency with sponsorship link found. The other one would be the header. Oh, of course, because the header then is matching the other message, which is this: you have added upgraded package you could sponsor. That's quite strange actually. Maybe it's printing because it's calling, let me see, hex sponsor converge. No, post converge. That's really strange. Let me see. On converger IODA inspect process info self. Oops. Let me put current stack trace. This here is pretty useful to get the current stack trace, like basically where the execution come from, like who's calling this function, post converge, and yeah, what I suspect is someone else that I don't know of is calling the function again here, right? So I'm gonna try to separate, like here, IO inspect. Let me just print. Oops. Let me just print a separator. So everything that got posted before, actually, here is the separator. So just if there's no stack trace printed after this separator here, we know that the message that is escaping is the one that got thrown by, sent by the deps.get, right? So yeah, let's see here. Let's execute the mix test for just this line. All right. Oops. All right, there is another call to it. As you can see here, there's like this first current stack trace that gets printed, and then another current stack trace. So yeah, that function is being called again after mix deps.get by the hex remote converger, like this by the dep remote converger, which is called by converge, which is called by load by cache, it's called by load paths, which is called from the task mix hex sponsor run. So here load paths run, load paths. Oh, not here. Hex sponsor. So yeah, the hex sponsor is calling the converger, the hex sponsor task. Mixed test fail, you can save time running only failed test cases. Yeah, true. What I did here is I have this dispatch Vim plugin. I just select this line and I execute this line like this. So I have dispatch configured so that only this one is going to get executed, you know. But yeah, I remember the failed flag. I rarely use it actually, almost never, because by the time I remember I could have run just the failed ones. I already ran any plugin. Oh right, a lot of plugins actually. Let me show you. This are my plugins. This is the whole list here. It's quite a lot. I know a lot of people don't like many plugins. Me neither. I just started adding it, and when I saw it was this big, but some of them I probably don't use it that much anymore, like Emmet, because I don't work with HTML that much anymore, or this JDaddy, probably never used. Heroku also, I don't use it anymore. I leave it there just because laziness, right? So yeah, the load paths run is called. From actually hex tasks has sponsor run line 33. Hex mix check steps. Hex mix check steps. All right. Yeah. So it depends on the version of Elixir. It runs load paths run no compile. So that's on Elixir. And as you can see, that thing calls the converge. But the thing is, in my implementation here, I do put it as false first, so that when I call fetch here, it should be false, and it's only turned into true if on the hex SCM here, when it calls the update here, it only it's only set to true if this function is called and there is a sponsor get link, a sponsor link. So yeah, that tells me that. Oh, actually, I think I have a problem here. It's a hex remote converger. All right. Yeah, and it did print it again. Okay. So let me try to print another place here. What is called hex SCM def update. Actually, hex.state here. Right. So then I can run that single test again. All right. Oh, I see. I should, after printing it, I should actually just delete that key from, right? That's the problem, because this hex state here is a basically an agent that is ran. It's like it's initiated, and when the test get initiated, right? And then, yeah. But no, actually, remote converger, I do call hex state put print sponsor type false in here, so it should. Let me move it to here. I'm not sure if it's gonna pass just because of that. No. No, but now it's not printing it after, at least, right? If I do it like this, it's oh, probably not, because I removed it from here. SCM. Let me also print this, just in case. Yeah, it's printing and it's returning computed true. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem, because then it's truthy even if it's falsy. So that there is a problem in my implementation for, where is it? I guess it's the first one here, not the remote converter. Hex state. I can't actually use straight map get here. I should use something like state and pretty much the same I do here. But if there's an error, it's new. Wait a bit. hexpm.get. All right, there is a triarity version, so I'm going to use create that. I'm not going to use it, so never mind. Oops. All right. Now execute again. There's a missing end. Yeah, this end. Silence. So yeah, it's still printing the message because it's still true. But then if I move now the oops, hex state put to the outside here, right? Let me see. Not sure if that's gonna work anyway, but just checking. Yeah, it still calls. Oh, what did I do? All right, no, never mind. It's still true. Here the puts setting to false. Yeah, let's see what's happening. What's the sequence here? Again, why did I do that? So setting to false, then setting to true, and then it's calling just post convert. It's not calling converge. It's just calling post converge the second time. So dep converger, post converge. So see here, setting it to false, setting it to true, and it's not actually calling setting false, setting to false again. So the function that does the put false is not getting called. And well, I'm gonna change that. So instead of setting it to false here, I'm gonna set it to false. I mean, I could have done it since the beginning. Right after printing, right? So let me take the IO inspect out of here too. And no IO put here. All right. Now it should pass. Test failed. See, I remember now. Just because you mentioned. Yeah, those two tests passed. So that's gonna be it. Let me just review it. So I do not set it to false when starting here. It's not needed anymore because now I use a get instead of a fetch, and I implemented the get. And yeah, that's it. There's no IO inspect or puts, right? Yeah. No. Git AC fixing the tests. Had to implement a hex.state.get. So oops. So that, how can I describe? Actually, let me mix format. Maybe the problem is that I'm using the formatter from another Elixir version, 1.12 with OTP22, and in here the checks CI setup here install. Oops. Install OTP and Elixir 23. Yeah, Elixir 1.11. Let me SDF local Elixir 1.11. Which format? Git add lib git commit git commit mix format. Yeah, sending it. to the remote, and it should pass now. Let me check if my 2 commits, yeah, my 2 commits are here now, and the checks should pass. Meanwhile, let me show you what's the other thing I'm going to do, which is this one I saved in here. It's another contribution to Elixir Core, which is an enhancement. Like, basically nowadays you can do this, like alias. This will be a plain atom, as you can see, and that's how you name modules from Erlang and other other Beam languages, right? So, and nowadays when you do this, it's going to alias it as Elixir lists, and that's wrong, right? Because then you just can't use it, because you need to actually use it like this, because it doesn't start with the capital letter. So the idea is that the best way to actually handle this is to say, hey, if you want to alias the a non-Elixir module to something else, the best is to use the as option. I suggested it something like this, like use as option when aliasing other Beam languages modules. And José Valim actually said, hey, that's what I have in mind too, and I think we can error instead of warning as well. So yeah, that would be what I'm going, would be it, right? So yeah, the format passed. Is there any test that is close to finishing? I just want to make sure that that's done, you know, before moving on with the next thing. Anyway, let me go here and cd elixir and update it. All right. Let me fetch upstream. Fetch everything from upstream, and then git rebase upstream master push. So just updated my master to have all the commits that have that Elixir master have on the original repo, because what I have is a clone, right? So yeah, let me check there. One of them already failed. That's bad. Compilation error. Hex sponsor 12. A handler operator. What? Didn't even touch this. What is happening? Hex sponsor 12. Oh, old version, really old version, probably. Yeah, Elixir 1.7. That's strange. Like, is it the width the problem? Maybe that's why they don't use width anywhere else in this code base. So yeah, the problem of Hex is that you're quite limited on what you actually can use here, because it has to work with a lot of Elixir versions, right? Yeah, it looks like there is no width. Just put a space after. Yeah, there's no width anywhere else. So what I'm going to do is to rewrite that hex sponsor this width to a chain case, which I don't like, but anyways, that's what we do when. So read metadata, do let me call, so if it's okay, metadata, I do another case, what I can do to make it better, link metadata. Actually, let me call it better, right? Extract link from, oh wait, all right, yeah, I'm already returning new. So the problem is that I'm returning an unfind here. I could actually just do this here, and anything else returns null, and I'm going to actually put a yeah, I don't like it. I like it too. So the problem here is that an unfind is going to return the whole item, and I don't want the whole item, I just want the value. But it's going to return new if no Is there another function that I could use actually for that? Enum. Hey, Black Code, you're the guy that really knows these tips. Like, is there a function on enum that is pretty much like find, but instead of returning me the whole item, returning me the, oh, wait, actually there is find value, right? But the find value, yeah, I can actually say, so find value if do value. And let's format this, right? Yeah, I think this is going to make that work. So if the link, because what the find value thing does is basically like it's similar to find, but returns the value of the function that was invoked, right? So instead of the element itself, so the return value is considered to be found when the result is truthy, basically neither new or false. So as if down case, if this, as I do not have an else for this if, the default value for it is going to be, the return value for it is going to be new every time that it doesn't match, like it doesn't actually is true, right? This condition is not true. So it's going to only be true if value is not new. But it's if this gets matched and value is not new, which might be a problem. Yeah, not a problem because if the value is not new, we can keep searching, right? Like even if there is something like sponsor, oops, even if there is something like sponsor and new, like we can keep searching for the link, because then it's as if it actually didn't have the link, right? So yeah, let me add the lib and HC, fixing, what did I fix? Using case to keep backwards compatibility with old Alexa versions. And yep, let me see the other, yeah, lots from 1.4 and on, which probably has width, it worked, but 1.3 and the others didn't, mostly because of the width thing. But 1.3 actually failed the test for some other reason. Doesn't make much sense. Anyway, let's see. Did I push the new version? Oops. In case it's done with. Yeah, it's running. Okay.